So part 2 of the Fretboard Friday series, and if you do like these videos, please do consider liking, sharing, subscribing and hitting that bell button, because as everybody says, it always does push these channels along. It's true, it's boring, but it does. Last time we went through the major scales, etc, etc, going all the way through each shape, each of the 7 shapes. Now this time we're focusing on 2 strings, starting on the 5th position of those major scales, which is the natural minor. Now not only do exercises like this really boost your ability to coordinate well, they allow you to move faster through certain phases, and then that allows you to put in some different runs as you change between licks or positions of shapes, etc, etc. So this isn't just all about rock playing, this is about everything. Blues, you'll see me use this type of thing within my blues jams. And it's not just pentatonic for blues, it's not just blues scale for blues. This is a way to get your fingers and your dexterity working really well. Now this sort of thing I used to do whilst watching TV, just sitting there noodling away, going through a couple of little shapes like this, and I'll just sort of kind of shut off in a way and just watch the TV, and then just whilst you're playing, just generally try and play. Now it's not the best form of practice, but it is one way you can do something whilst doing something else, or practice whilst doing something else. It might annoy the other half, but it's got to weigh that up yourself. So this one then basically starts off with the natural minor. So this is shape 6 of the major scales, so the relative minor or Aeolian mode. And you've got this going on. So just the first 2 strings, string 6 and string 5. The tab should be up on the screen and you won't see me face now. There it is. So what you've got is fret 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 8. Okay, now that itself uses the 2, I can't even get them out, the 2 fingers which refuse to work together efficiently. Those 2, finger 3 and finger 4. Now I'm not sure of the anatomy of it, but I think they're connected by the same tendon, or the tendons are used by the same muscle. I don't know. Anyway, if someone might be able to tell me in the comments. So what this does, it gets those 2 fingers communicating with each other. Now if you set a metronome going, you can obviously do this at a metronome speed or a tempo or a drum pattern which is comfortable for you to play. Now in this case, let's use triplets. So I would say do 2 minutes on this just to warm up and get those fingers communicating. If you find that it's slightly going sloppy like this, where you're putting your finger down before you're striking, take the tempo back just a smidge, and then that may actually sort that out, and then that'll allow you to speed up once you've got your tempo sorted. Sounds strange, I know, but it does work. So if we go slow enough, so we're going to go, try and join in 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if you feel any tension, again, this is going to sound weird, but one of my guitar teachers always used to tell me to breathe. Makes sense, because if you don't, you pass out. But breathe in the sense of trying to relax yourself, because if you're relaxed, your arm's relaxed. If your arm's relaxed, then your playing's relaxed, blah blah blah. And it really does work, you know, so try and be a little bit chilled about it. Don't tense up, because that is not going to work because of the positioning of your hand. It's just going to make everything seem a lot harder to actually play. So that is your task for that one. That's part 1 of the lesson. Now part 2 covers all 7 shapes in the natural minor, in the key of A minor, starting from that 5th fret. So okay, So that's the task number 2. So this one, again, the same scenario applies, where if you put a drum pattern on, which I'll show you in a second, well, not necessarily drum pattern, a loop, it's going to work at your rhythm. If you get your timing correct with your loop, you know you're in a good place to actually put this into motion along with that backing. If that timing goes out, it's going to throw you out. So you need your rhythm of your loop to be spot on. So that's a good place to start to get your rhythm going. With an example for you then, with a loop. This has got to come in a bit closer. So here we go. So if I put a loop on. Choo, choo. So I'm using a Boss RC30 for my loop pedal, going into the effects loop of the amp. Just to give you an idea of what it's going to be like, I know that was a little bit jumbled, but getting the levels right in here is not easy without programming it all in. Anyway, so that is your lesson. So if you spent around about 2 minutes on each one of those exercises a day, the progression of your coordination over the next week should be massive, only if you spend around about 2 minutes plus, I would say. If you want to do more, because then you'll progress quicker. But the key to be improving is little and often. Now, if you want to do lots and often, then that's going to push you up a lot further more quickly. But obviously you might do yourself damage. So start small and aim big. And that's basically how you're supposed to do this. So fretboard fluency, keeping it even, keeping it slow, build slowly, and then you've got a win-and-win situation. Nice. Right, that's it for today. There was a little bit of jabber going on at the end there. That is it, and I shall see you next week for another fretboard fluency lesson. Please do consider subscribing, liking, hitting the bell, and leaving me a comment of things you would like to see. Pass it on to everybody else with that hashtag Fretboard Friday, and I shall see you next week for another one of these installments. Cool. Laters, everyone. See you soon.